Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we will talk about the two new orchids that I bought locally in a supermarket here in London. And what I want to show you is how the orchids are. I want to remove them from the package and we will analyze these orchids together, show you what I usually do as soon as I get some orchids from the supermarket. To have other videos for beginners when I talk more about Phalaenopsis. But this one specifically, it's a short and sweet video where I'm gonna just show you what I got is only two orchids, what I'm gonna do, what's the next step, and how I notice if the root system is healthy or if the leaves are healthy. In general, how can I know if my orchid is doing well, if I can wait to repot it, or if it's suffering and it needs repotting immediately. So let's dive straight in. I'll show you both of the orchids. Let's talk about them and let's remove them from their packets. First off, I have here these orchids that came in this glass container. Usually supermarkets here in the UK, they place orchids inside this glass to show like a terrarium, and usually it's a nice gift to give to people. They think it probably looks nice. That's the reason why I think people place it inside these glasses. They tend to be a little bit more expensive because it comes with the glass. So this one was £12. It's a mini Phalaenopsis that has a beautiful color and a subtle fragrance. It has the colors of sunset. I think is that warm tone of beige, like pink with some yellow and some dark pink as well, going to purple. Beautiful, beautiful tiny Phalaenopsis. We will check on it soon. Next one, we have a ton of orchids that come like that. Sorry, the noise, probably the plastic is making a huge noise. This one was half of the price, didn't have any pot, didn't come in a glass, it was just wrapped in plastic. They could wrap in something else, right? Why in plastic? But anyway, here we are. We talk a lot about that. We should avoid plastic. Unfortunately, I think we are far behind. But what I have in here, I have a Phalaenopsis with a flower spike. The flowers are not looking good. I think they have botrytis. I don't know how to pronounce. It's like a fungus that attack flowers. So the flowers are a little bit strange at the moment, but this is like a white Phalaenopsis with a large lip. It has a different flower shape from other common Phalaenopsis. At the moment, I don't have any Phalaenopsis with this kind of lip, so I am glad to have it. It's called a Peloria. It's a sort of Peloria where the lip tries to mimic the petals and sepals. Anyway, let's remove from this package and let's look at the plant. I placed both on my table. Let's look at them. Hey, so here we are. That's my Phalaenopsis in the glass container. So the first thing that I do is to remove the plant from the glass container. I don't keep them here. Why I don't keep them here? Because I think I can easily let some water trapped inside the container when I'm watering it. For me it will be more difficult to water without having water trapped here inside the glass. It will increase the humidity so I can have more rot, more infections. So in my case specifically, it doesn't work for me. If you have all the time to just find a way to water the roots down there, maybe it will work for you, but doesn't for me. What I noticed with this orchid is, let me take these a little bit. I have a ton of buds here, so I had issues with bud blasting. This plant is definitely stressed. I haven't watered it yet, so maybe that's one of the reasons. So heat can definitely stress our plants. And also came from the supermarket to my house, so I stressed it a little bit. Let's try to remove it from here. So in the end, it's just a bunch of bark. So that's my orchid. What I noticed with this orchid is that the root system is very dry. It is placed on this tiny, tiny pot. It needs to come out of it because it's very large. The pot is very, very, very tiny. So it's definitely stressed because it needs water. And some of the signs is, as I said, all the blasting of the buds. The leaves, though, they are still plumpy, which is a good sign because it's not completely dehydrated. So for these orchids specifically, I will find a pot and let me do that with you. I have this large pot. So what I will do, I will add some water here and I let it soak for 15 minutes. Let's do it now. Just be careful with the crown, with the stem. We don't want to have any rods here. I let it soak while I show you the other orchids. Then I will drop this water out. My plant should be hydrated. If you are a beginner, you have two choices here. First of all, you could let this plant be. Water it every time you notice the roots are completely gray, like it is now. Wait for the flowers to go and then repot it, because I noticed that I have live roots, as you can see here. Now they are turning green. So I do have live roots. They are hydrating my plants and the leaves are still plumpy. All good signs. So I can allow my plant to bloom, finish blooming. Then I can cut the flower spikes and I can repot my plant. Or I can keep the flower spikes as well. If you're a more experienced grower, you know that you can definitely even try to repot it now while it is still in bloom. But remember that flowers can always use some energy from the plants. So if you notice that the plant is struggling, it's a good idea to wait for the flowers to go before to repot our orchid. In this case specifically, I will let this plant be for a while here. But because the pot is very, very tiny and I'm not happy with it, in maybe 2 weeks or so, I will try to remove it from it and just offer it a completely in potting mix and repot it in my usual way. Let's check the second orchid. This one is a larger Phalaenopsis. It's not the one of the bigger, super big ones. As you can see, the flower comparing to my hands are not super large. It's like the one medium-sized Phalaenopsis, I think. Let's remove the plastic sleeve. Oh gosh, usually it's easier. Like free your plants from this world. There we go, it's free now. First of all, there is something growing here. Let me come close to you, okay? I do have some plants growing from the base. Probably some seeds or something that was with the sphagnum moss. This one is potted in moss. It's full of sphagnum moss. What I notice in here is that I do have another flower spike coming from the bottom of my orchid. And I do have this flower spike. The mix is very dry as well. And the flowers, I hope you can see, some of them are gone, others have some grazing in them that I think is caused by watering, so probably some drops of water were here, and then I have some fungus that are making my flowers not look very good, amazingly well, but the youngest flowers, they are looking better. And I have a ton of buds to open. I have this other flower spike that should be able to push out some flowers now. Anyway, what I can tell you is my plant is healthy as well. I have to give this plant some water, the same thing that I've done to the other one. Hopefully, it will be well, it will grow well. I can definitely wait for this plant to dry out, to open all of the buds. And then in the future, I might need to repot it, but this one has more space to grow inside this pot than the other one. The other pot was tiny compared to this one. What I noticed is this leaf is smaller than this one. This plant has been a little bit stressed, but is hydrated. The leaves are also plumpy, so it's not a stressed plant. I can just let this plant be in my shelving with my other orchids while it blooms, and in the future I can repot it when the flowers are gone, the same way that I would do with the other Phalaenopsis. So both Phalaenopsis are super healthy, and the most important thing here, in this case specifically, is to hydrate these plants very, very well and place them with my other orchids, offer them some bright light, but don't offer direct light. They don't enjoy direct light. They will be burned. Keep them hydrated keep them under some growing lights or maybe some indirect sunlight. They will enjoy, they will love it, they keep growing. In the future, you definitely need to repot because this mix is completely old and they will appreciate to have a new potting mix and having more space to grow their roots as well. To conclude, I will give you some close-ups of these two beauties. I hope you can appreciate them. I'm so glad that I finally have a Phalaenopsis with a wide lip. They are so beautiful, and this one is not a large one. I used to have larger ones in the past, one of these super big Phalaenopsis. I don't have space for them at the moment, but they are also beautiful. So I'm glad that I found this one for £6. And it is like white with pink. The center of the orchid, which has some pink coloring to it. It's just one of these Phalaenopsis. It will require the same care. The other one, as I already described, has a different color. It's darker, but the plant is much smaller than the white one. They are both beautiful Phalaenopsis, and I hope to keep growing them. Anyway, that was everything that I want to tell you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you have any of these in your collection. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.